Hi, and welcome to a behind the scenes look in at minivan camper life with Leslie. Hi, how's it going? Coming at you today from the end of the street here, and this is going to give you the insight into what is holding us back from being on the road like we normally would. Here at the end of the street, you can see behind me all the heavy construction equipment. The road is closed. There's all kinds of, pipes and hoses and such. There's a big underground water project going on right now. There are a lot of different pipes being replaced. The water main, the wastewater, and the sewer, something or other, is all getting replaced and updated. So I guess it's sorely needed in our neighborhood. The whole neighborhood is actually undergoing the same process, street by street, but this is currently what's going on right on our block. Let's see if we can get a better look at what's happening here. Also, I'm standing right by this mango tree where nobody's picked up the rotten mangoes on the ground, so it's a little nasty. Yeah, just in case you ever got jealous of somebody that had mango trees, papaya, I don't know, all these, lemons, grapefruits, whatever. It's not all it's cracked up to be, believe me. Okay, you can see how serious the road condition is over here. Right now, the equipment is... Can I get closer? Yeah. Right now, the equipment is pulling up little trenches, short little narrow trenches that go across the road, and what that does is it allows the crew to lay the water supply pipes, connect them to all the houses along the street. Well, there's much more going on the other side of the block, and here are some pictures of that. Oh, okay, so I'm back home. I just had to get out of that sun. At least here it's still hot. It's still like 100 degrees and 140% humidity, but at least there's a ceiling fan nearby here and I'm out of the sun. I was hot just walking around the block, and these guys that have to do construction in this heat and humidity, I just give them all the props in the world. So here's what the construction looks like on the other side of the block. As you can see, this is not really ideal for being able to rent out the house. Unfortunately, that's what keeps our van life engine going. So without an opportunity to get rental income from this property, we don't have a way to support ourselves on the road for the length of time that we want. So, now, there are a lot of rentals in this neighborhood, as you can imagine. It's tropical, we're not too far from the beach, so it's a highly sought after rental neighborhood. Are people currently renting out other homes on this block or right nearby? Yes, they are. For how much longer, I don't know. The reason I ask myself this question is you can see the tumult, right? You can see how inconvenient it would be to be renting a home where this type of construction is taking place right in front of the driveway. You can only access the house by parking elsewhere and lugging all your stuff over pipes and sand, and what a pain. We decided not to rent the property during this construction time for a couple of reasons. The first is that we feel like we can't ask full rental price for this. So we also don't want to discount the property and attract too low end of a market, if that makes sense. We would rather sustain the quality of our property. Do we want to make money during this off time? Yes, definitely. But if we discount it to a point where we feel Yeah, for, I don't know, $20 a night, somebody wouldn't mind climbing over pipes and sand to get into their house. That's just not a whole market we want to enter into. I don't want to offer this in that condition to somebody, even at that much of a discounted price. I'm not saying it would be $20. I'm just saying that's the mindset. And number two, if we were able to rent it, at some point there's going to be an inconvenience. There's going to be a water shut off for some period of the day. There's going to be a time where you can't get in and out of your own driveway. There's going to be giant equipment parked in front of the house, and because they work on what's called the right of way, which apparently is the first third of your lawn here, there's often heavy equipment parked right on the first third of your lawn, which is now dug up to be just sand and pipes. So the whole thing is not pretty. If that were some of the inconveniences that people were dealing with while they were renting here, that would probably facilitate a negative review, and we're not all about having that, no. If somebody's renting for, let's say, 2 months, and for a half a day they have no water, okay, maybe they can make some accommodation for that in their minds, like, oh, it was a little inconvenience, but not that bad. But if they're here for 5 days or so, 6 days, a week, that's a big chunk of their time here is the time they were without water, or the time they couldn't access the driveway. So because we can't control what's happening with the construction, we can't control the timing of it, we're just going to step back, take it off the market for now, and move forward when everything's back together. So remember that burning question: what can we do to get back on the road? Here's what we're doing to get back on the road. The first thing is we're taking this downtime to spruce up the house and do all kinds of like little tweaks and repairs and touching things up, fixing up the baseboards and that type of thing. The next thing that we're doing is we are full on marketing this thing for filling out the gaps in the season coming up. So we're getting in the listing and we're working on improving it and we're making it the most attractive it can be online. And the next thing, probably the most important, is we have just put ourselves into, the hands of the universe and the construction gods and said we have no control over how this project is going to go. So we just have to sit back and wait and watch it kind of progress over our street here, and then as soon as it's done, we're ready to snap back into action. So that's what's going on behind the scenes, I know it's not all peace and love all the time, but we're going to get through it and we'll be back on the road soon enough. In the meantime, we are taking about 2-3 weeks here coming up where we're just going to take a trip to get away from the construction. So we'll be reporting to you from the road and giving you close-ups of the camper van and how it operates on the road during a trip. So I'll see you next time. Thanks for stopping by.